think that can trade out your smoking habits.
Yeah.
My smoking habit is already... Look. My smoking
well,
habit is
you-
already
you-
trading out something else. Helios, my smoking habit is already keeping 2 other addictions at bay, so I'd rather smoke.
You should get a workout addiction. With pump the iron.
That's not exactly a very good one either. Because if you overwork yourself, your body can become a workaholic.
And your muscles
what
might
was-
become sour. Your muscles might become sour as well, and eventually just well, not sour. Turn to basically they will have. If you work out too often, your muscles will start building up acid that
Yeah,
they
it's
can't get
lactic
rid of,
acid.
and yeah, and it will
This
eventually
way,
start breaking down
Cardio
your
and
muscle mass.
cardio and stretching. So that means
Did you call it dyslexic acid? What did
Lactic.
you call it?
lactic
acid.
Like you said, dyslexic acid. Holy shit.
This lactic acid, it will only attack the A's.
Yeah, when I push sleds. Oh god, I can hardly walk after doing a lot.
What racist acids? They will only melt the blacks.
What? What?
Excuse me, what the fuck?
Look, I am your father. God, I sound like an asthmatic Darth Vader.
Dramatic Darth Vader.
Well, I mean, it is the fucking tar and nicotine being slightly chipped away from the inside of my lungs.
I mean,
Look, it's the actor who played Darth Vader.
Being
No,
a permanent iron lung is kind of worse than having asthma. But
I know.
locate a bomb.
Iron Lung. Those things are scary. They don't
Welcome to polio.
Be advised your drone has located
Why we made a
bomb.
No, but
vaccine for that?
Helios, I smoke because it helps me cope with stress, eating, and alcoholism. So, I mean, I'd rather smoke than have those 3 things.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, I'm just gonna keep the smoking habit and just build up my fucking my stamina. I'm gonna just build my stamina back up while smoking.
Yeah, that's
Insertion in
that's
5
not gonna
seconds.
happen, my
Yeah.
guy. Take it from someone who comes from a family of smokers.
You've located a bomb.
You're
Take
That
it
is-
to its location and defuse
Sugar, that is a fucking lie, and I speak from experience.
Buddy,
in
I
my,
must
in
say
my life,
My
look,
grandfather
sugar,
died from
sugar.
lung cancer, but hey,
Oh no, I know I'm gonna get cancer, but the fact that I can still build up my stamina while smoking, because you saying that is not possible is a fucking lie. Because I've ran long distance track for 3 years, and I've been a year in the army while smoking, and I was in peak fucking condition. Just the fact that I haven't run for 5 years is what's currently kicking me in the teeth.
touche.
You can't have good stamina while smoking. You do have to keep working on it slightly more often than people who don't smoke. Right, you have to put in a lot more effort.
Are you just running, or are you actually working out with it?
1 day run, 1 day working out, 1 day rest. 1 day running, 1 day working out, 1 day rest. I work on a 6 day cycle, and then Sundays is for the boys. Well, no, it's not Sundays; it's Saturdays.
D&D sure do be fun.
Yeah, but I can work out before I do D&D, but after
Oh, yeah.
D&D we go drinking, so Sundays I am completely incapable.
Down
Speaking
Jaeger.
of
Diffuser
my
is no longer in your
brother,
possession.
that just reminded me of a fucking story my brother told me where he yoinked a fucking map out of a dwarf's hands while he was reading it. Just,
Mute is down. I mean, Jaeger's down, and mute is very low.
The diffuser has been
Um,
recovered.
With my party, we're doing the Tomb of Annihilation, and I activated a trap where I got ran over by I forget what it's called, like a rampager or something. 1 health. Barely survived. Pretty pretty cool, pretty cool. 1 health.
Much Warframe.
All I remember is that at one point my brother, instead of the whole yoinking a fucking map, he used Molders to kill someone.
We have a campaign that is very heavily homebrewed.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
For example, the most advanced weaponry in there, it's a medieval setting, but still the most advanced weaponry are black powder rifles. Some muskets. So far, the only character in the entire world that we have ever encountered... No, listen. Like, the only character we have ever encountered in the world that uses a black powder musket is my character. I also have a bayonet with it.
Now that's so British.
And the best part is, due to the last session, the DM has allowed me a homebrewed skill.
Damn.
An AR,
Because
AR-15.
it is no. It is because of something I did in the last campaign. Because in the last campaign, we were facing like a horde of fucking enemies, and all of the party had to pull back because they had to heal or whatever. I'm playing as a ranger, not a fighter. Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
I have 46 HP as a ranger, which is
Use your drone to
somewhat
locate a
decent.
bomb.
And I, in character, just look at the rest of the party and just go, the line, it will be fucking health. So my character stands, just basically crouches down, lays aim, fires at the first creature, hits, and it goes down because it was already hit. Then the first creature attacks me. 19, just below a crit,
Drone has located
but it
a
still
bomb.
hits. And it does like 2 damage.
10 seconds to go.
Every single time for 7 turns of enemies. Not 7 enemies, no, 7 whole turns. Every time the DM rolled
Found a bomb.
just below a
Make your way to
crit
its location and
and like
defuse it.
1 to 4 damage. Every single time. Like just the worst luck on his side, and he couldn't fudge rolls. Like we were seeing his dice, he could not fudge it because we didn't want him to. And I kept just hitting shot after shot. So like I missed maybe twice. Whenever they got close, I would just stab into them with my bayonet and I fire. Once the bayonet is in him, just fire him off my bayonet, lay aim, fire again, shit like that. D&D.
Me and my party,
So-
we're...
One shot.
Hold on, the story's not done. It gets so much better. Eventually, after 7 rounds of combat, all enemies are dead. Our healer is at like 10 HP, trying to keep everyone alive. Our fighter is down, unconscious, getting brought back up by our healer. Our fucking paladin is just like 10 HP, sitting there like almost shell-shocked, and my character is just standing there. And in character, I just go to the rest of the party, looking at my character sheet. How the fuck am I alive? My character was at 1 HP. 1 hit point. All he had left. Just fucking standing there. Because of that encounter, I got the skill, hold the line. What it means, as soon as my character shouts out, hold the line, or anything along those lines, I am impervious to critical attacks.
That's...
That is all it does. I cannot be critted. That is all it does.
It's so annoying.
Because how badly he rolled, he was like, yeah, you deserve this.
That's pretty fun.
Just hold on. Hey King,
Bomb
you
has
dropped
been
this. And you hold the line.
Hold the line! Hold the
Me-
line!
Oh god, me and my party, I play a lizard folk cleric, and clerics are usually like healers, they heal the team. Not me. We have our
War
paladin.
cleric?
Huh? Yeah, basically. I'm a Tempest cleric who's goddess Talos. So I'm just
Oh, I mean, our cleric is a great cleric.
The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
we were trapped in a room and suffocating to death because there was no air in it. And we figured out what was causing us to have no air. We destroyed it, and then we got teleported into another room with like a bunch of like 50 terracotta soldiers. And one of our companions made a noise, so they started attacking us, and I just did a destructive wave, channel divinity, destructive wrath, which means I can just do full damage on thunder and lightning, and I killed 28 of them.
Thunderbolts of lightning.
I killed 28 of them with one attack.
Nice.
That's so funny.
Now, the funniest thing is, you want to know the best part about my ranger?
Mm.
He is fully human. He doesn't get he doesn't get special funky fucking stats or whatever. No, he's just a human that is just genuinely too stubborn to die.
My
Is literally too stubborn. Tells
Well-
Death to fuck off.
Then again, it could be worse. We have a barbarian that is genuinely too stupid to die.
my in my campaign.
Bomb is protected.
Yeah, but that's too stubborn.
With black
Every-
powder musket tells Death to fuck off.
Every
Basically.
every session in our campaign, my character has gone near death. Like 2 sessions ago, I fell in a pit of acid, and if it would have taken another turn, I would have just died. Like there would have been no saving me. But luckily, I was able to escape due to our barbarian fighter saving me. And then the next session, I figured out a secret, opened a door, and then a door to my right opened and a rampager thing rolled
5
over
seconds
me,
left.
and I had 1 health, and it was about to roll back over me, but our
Op 4 has located a
monk
bomb.
threw a beat of force on it, stopping it.
Oh, nice. Those, my ranger, by the way, we're a level 5 party. I've got 3 levels in ranger. You know where those other 2 levels are?
Where?
Well, technically, I'm also multi-classing as a rogue due to my stats and the bullshittery I did with it, but without actually multi-classing as a rogue, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I have 1 level in Bard, because Vicious Mockery and Bardic Inspiration are 2 of the single best things ever added in 5e.
My
Vicious Mockery is just
my
killing him with insults.
my our DM in one of his old campaigns that he was like a PC and he was playing, he killed the big bad evil guy with Vicious Mockery.
I have done that as well. The Vicious Mockery is great, but here comes the best part. In the latest session, after the latest session, we leveled up once more, getting a new level. So I decided I'll finally take a level in fighter just for that second wind because I'm gonna need that. So. Alright, but second wind, to explain, is basically you get more life back. Which is nice. So me and the DM decided on how I cast second wind. My character casts it by shouting, "Not today, Satan."
Nice.
Since we're in the Tomb of Annihilation, there's just random stuff everywhere, and our monk found a golden skull that he decided to pick up with Mage Hand. He brought it into our room, and I was standing guard.
Sorry.
Me and him were both standing guard. I decided to grab it, and now I have this floating skull called what's his name? Yaka, and now I have disadvantage on all ability checks, and it constantly makes fun of me and it like insults our party.
So you basically have a sarcastic servo skull.
Yeah, and I can get it to go away if I feed it 10,000 gold worth of gems.
Nice.
And my character, I've just been role playing is kind of like
Just
stupid.
imagining a floating skull that's the equivalent of the asshole murder cat.
Yeah, my lizard, he's not necessarily stupid, but since he's a lizard folk, he only
10 seconds left.
Prioritizes.
Yes, sorry. He only does that one, what's happening at hand, or what he's thinking of at hand. So, like, if he's thinking of something completely different and you ask him a question, he will not answer it right at all. And one of my friends that's in the campaign, his character, his backstory is that his wife divorced him and took literally everything, even his last name. His character doesn't have a last
Karen
name.
took my goddamn last name.
Yeah, and my character doesn't know the story.
Existence can't have shit in this metaphysical dimension.
He doesn't know. My character doesn't know that like all this happened. He just knows if you mention his wife, he gets mad. So his character will be making fun of my character and be laughing or like doing something really stupid, and I'll just go, "Your wife," and he'll just look me dead in the eyes.
Also, there's something funny. There's one thing my DM has not allowed my ranger to have, which is kind of a shame. Because for a ranger companion, I wanted to go with a Cheshire cat, just a very sarcastic cat that can turn invisible and will only help whenever it feels like it. I mean, it would be a fun thing to have, but apparently not. So we came to a agreement. I now have a honey badger.
What kind of shooter?
My ranger companion is a goddamn honey badger.
Oh well.
10 seconds.
And you want to know the worst part?
5 seconds left.
The honey badger has a higher AC than I do.
Bomb located by Op 4.
My character's AC is 19, and it's just like my DM will try to attack me, and he'll just be like, "That doesn't hit." Okay, he'll like roll it and look at it and be like, "That doesn't hit."
Oh no.
One of our characters has a armor class of like 21.
Eyes on the target.
Oh, with me, the DM is always frustrated because he critted me once and like, you take 30 damage. I had like 35 HP at the time. Like, okay, I stab him with my bayonet. And like, wait, you're not running? Like, no. If I die, I die. Which is hence the second win being called "Not Today, Satan."
Mm-hmm.
My character has no concept of self-preservation, just none whatsoever.
Yours is mine.
In that sense.
Like he is about as he's as often on the front line in combat as our fighter and paladin, and I'm supposed to be the ranged attacker.
My
swear to
cleric
God,
has.
If this character isn't Scottish, he
Op 4
better
has
he
located a
is
bomb.
now an honorary
Yes,
My
he is
character
Scottish.
My character, we were in this room fighting a permanently invisible beholder.
The fuck you staring at, you E-plush cunt?
No, you gotta say it right. What in the shit are you staring at, you wee posh twat?
That's it.
Did I mention I'm part Scottish?
King. Fucking king.
My granddad's from Glasgow and he raised me for the first 6 years of my life.
We were in a
All you
room.
guys' D&D stories are fucking amazing, yet all I have to talk about is how my brother killed someone with mold earth.
We were in this room fighting a literal invisible beholder, so we just didn't know where it was at. And one of our party members turned to
Friendly
stone
last
and
operator standing.
died. Like he was just gone. He died.
Ah,
Another
nice.
our paladin was strapped to magnetized to a giant orb that he couldn't get off of.
Friendlies were eliminated.
And the other
Failure.
other three, I think, couldn't find the giant orb. So I did, since I'm a cleric at like level 10 or whatever, I did the what's it called? A divine intervention. And I asked my god Talos to destroy the enemy attacking us. And I was the last turn of the night, and I rolled and got like a 7, so it counted. Just a lightning bolt just struck down this beholder. It just our DM was so big because we were all gonna die in this room if I hadn't have done this, or if I hadn't have rolled good on this. And so it just succeeded. It just killed it instantly. And he was just like,
So it was straight up just Talos take the wheel.
basically, yeah.
I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah, did to a beholder.
My DM learned to never send invisible enemies at our party. He did it once, and he is currently contemplating giving me the lucky feat just for the amount of bullshit I roll. I'll give some examples, but first the invisible enemy. He's once sent an invisible enemy after us. I don't recall what kind of fucking enemy. But I had a 1-ounce jar of ink on me. So I just go, I throw the bottle of ink at the enemy, and he's like, you don't
Down
see
to
it.
10 seconds.
I'm like, I hear it. And he goes, alright, sure, roll for it.
Seconds and counting.
I rolled a nat 20.
Keep an eye out for Op 4 attempting to defuse your bombs.
I hit it with the jar of ink, and all of a sudden everyone knew where the invisible enemy was. Since then, he has never sent invisible enemies after us ever again.
One of our party members, we walked into a room and there was a well, and he decided that he wanted to take a bath. So he undressed and asked our DM if he could roll for the size of his member.
You don't roll in the moment, you roll when you create your fucking character. What a rookie is that?
Who would roll that when they're creating their character? The
It is a alright, in my campaigns, every single campaign I've ever played, when you create your character, you roll 4d6s for your stats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, after that you roll an additional d20.
Mhm.
Sorry, let me put it better. You roll a 2 d10s. One d10 that is double digits, one d10 that's single digits. Right?
Mhm.
That is inches and decimals.
Yeah.
Or inches in decimals, breast size, inches, decimals, penis length. That directly influences your charisma.
Op 4
The shorter your
bombs
dick
must
or
defend it.
the smaller your tits, the lower, the worse the stat block is on your charisma. The bigger they are, well, the better your charisma is. That is how it goes in our party, in our fucking campaigns. It's quite funny because you
Op 4
yeah, like
located
you
a bomb.
roll
Protect
or
it.
just a D100 is possible as well. Like you roll a 21, well, your dick is now 2.1 inches.
Well, we don't do that, and this party member that decided to do this, he's like the shortest out of our party. He's like 4'9" or something like. He's short,
Yeah.
and he just rolled a d10 and got a 10. So it was 10 inches long. It was a nightmare.
Can't be worse.
One
And
We
op
did
he
the
has
same with a D20, with the max length being 20 inches.
He
My... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say he also has a god complex, but not in the way you think. He just goes,
Ah.
and then proceeds to get annihilated by something.
Oh no, we did it with a D20, that like minimum 1 inch, maximum 20 inches. I made a Highlander, a literal Scottish Highlander, like a fighter with a greatsword.
Op 4 eliminated.
I rolled a 19. He had a 19-incher tucked away under his kilt. That made for some awkward moments in that campaign. To the point where there was this fight where an enemy managed to slap the sword out of my hand.
Nope.
So I bludgeoned him to death with my character's penis.
That is.
Because when in doubt, whip it out.
Oh.
I might have multi-classed a few levels in Bart with that character. No, but the other massive bullshit I did with my ranger is our artificer in our party. He fights with like making shiny crystals that he fucking yeets at people, right?
I did decent.
Mhm.
Nice.